Hey there, Brickies. So today we're going to take a look at Mario Bros. We're going to do some gameplay and then my story of how I got the cabinet. But I just wanted to shout out a couple of you Brickies. So today's shout outs go to Scott J and Tassonis No Me. So I hope I pronounced all your names correctly. I apologize if I didn't. And Brickies, thank all of you guys for watching these videos and supporting the channel. You guys all mean the world to me. Once again, I will continue to shout you guys out. So continue to leave comments and, I will continue to give back to you guys for supporting me. Alright, so this is Mario Bros. This is the dedicated cabinet. They sell two different models, the wide body. Well, they manufactured two different models, the wide body and, the conversion kit they were usually like Donkey Kongs or DKJs that they converted into Mario Bros. Still with the original parts. The story goes of how I got this. I got this for $400 on OfferUp quite some time ago now. And the story is kind of crazy. It's pretty cool actually. This cabinet is, refurbished, it has the artwork, it has the T-molding, everything's there. Even the marquee lights up again. The original starter is everything's in it. Everything's original. It even has the coin bank in there as well, the wooden one. So this guy on OfferUp, I was looking on OfferUp. I wanted the conversion kit cabinet because the wide body was cool, but I just needed a smaller cabinet. I didn't really have the space for it. I had owned one arcade cabinet in the past. It was a light gun game. It was called Alien the Abductors. It was a great game. I got it for like $200-300. I just didn't have any space for it. It never actually made it outside of my work. I just had it stored there. Restored the whole cabinet. The coin slots weren't working. Fixed all that. Made the marquee light up again. Bought a new marquee because it didn't have the artwork. So yeah, I sold that one. And I had money, so I was like, hey, Mario Bros would be cool. It's a two-player game. So I was looking, I saw a wide body. I actually went to go look at it, and it was just, I just wasn't for me. I think it's a cool cabinet, but I just didn't have the space for it, and it needed too much work. So this guy in North Hollywood, it's about 30 minutes away, but with traffic, it's a little over an hour, depending on like what time of the day you go. Usually always busy to go down there, but he had it. And I said, hey, $400 and I could pick it up tomorrow. And he said okay. So I get there, and he was supposed to be in an auto shop. He was like so when I got there, it was actually at a Circle K. So I was a little bit confused. It was like one of the first times I ever used OfferUp, and luckily I brought some of my buddies to help me, and just because I didn't know what to expect. So I messaged him, hey, where are you at? And he ends up sending this kid on a bike. And, it was kind of sketchy, I'm not going to lie. And he's like, yeah, follow me. So we go to the other side of the street into, like, this, like, industrial, like, it was really, like, weird. It was, like, out of a horror movie. Wasn't really feeling comfortable going, but, I had to get Mario Bros. So I was just hoping it was legit. And the cabinet was there, but the cabinet had seen better days. It was painted black. This whole side art was just completely painted black. I think because it was in an auto shop, he didn't want it, it just looked better, I guess, black to him. So the whole thing was painted. The marquee light didn't work, but the game worked. The cabinet was running, so that was enough for me. And I tried it out. I played a few games. The joystick was sticking, probably because of like the oil grease, so maybe that had gotten in the controls. So it looked pretty good. It had all the, I even opened up the marquee and it had the original starter and everything, so I was pretty excited for that. But the whole, T-molding was all cracked, so it had no side art. So I finally like say, okay, I'm good. And he's like, okay, let's talk about the price. And I was a little bit confused because we already had, agreed on the price. So, after back and forth, I was able to get it for the $400 that we had originally agreed on. Was that, and I was on my way, but on the freeway we were on the 101, and I have a Nissan truck, a pickup truck, and I just see in the rearview mirror that the freaking bezel is coming off, and so we have to pull off on the freeway, and luckily there was a gas station right there, so we pulled into it, and I'm just glad I didn't lose that piece, because you know, sometimes they're hard to find, and you know, I just didn't want to, you know, buy something that I already owned. So luckily I was able to get, luckily it didn't fly off, and it would have shattered into a million pieces, and I would have never seen that thing again. So luckily I was able to get it. That's pretty much it for Mario Bros. It's a really cool game because it's multiplayer.
Then you restored it.
Yeah, so when I got it home, actually I worked on it at work actually, and
oh yeah, that's right.
I didn't want to take it home because I didn't, you know, I just wanted to bring it home when it was fully ready to come home. So I got this thing called Citrus Strip. You guys have probably heard of it. John's Arcade actually, you know, mentioned in his video, and it looked pretty cool. So, you know, I was just hoping that the original art, you know, the baby blue finish was on it, and luckily it was. Luckily it has like this coating over it that it doesn't wear off the paint, which is really cool. I'm glad they did that. Anyways, you know, it took a while. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of, it's not hard, but you gotta wait. It's like a long, you gotta have a day or two just free up.
Remember you put that stuff down at work and you ruined the floor at work, but you fixed it, like,
yeah.
Remember that? Because all that black paint went on the freaking tile.
Yeah.
And then you had to strip it after.
It's a messy thing because.
Oh, it was fine until
everything worked out. You know.
Oh, that was stupid.
It's kind of hard because I'm like in the way playing, but
yeah.
Anyways,
I just wanted you to remember that, and you were like doing that with the citrus strip. It was good, and then because you had that white stuff laid out, and then when you ran out of it, you put down that black stuff, and that black stuff like it went through it or something.
Yeah. It was like a butcher paper.
Oh,
but
that's right. That's what it was. Butcher paper.
I ran out of newspaper. I think no cardboard.
Yeah, that's what you were using.
I had cardboard and then the butcher paper over it,
that's
and
right.
I was too lazy to get more cardboard, so I just said, okay, I think the black butcher paper would be just fine. And
I thought you were right about that too.
And it went right through it. So
we didn't know till you were done.
So just be careful. Make sure you have layers upon layers if you're gonna use citrus strip, and you know, try not to do it at your house, or if you're gonna do it in your garage or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, the citrus strip worked like a charm. You know, I could probably touch it up, but I like having it like legit how it came out in the factory. So it's pretty close. You know,
nice to have
it's got like a little bit of wear, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty good. But I'm just happy to get the original color, because the paint, you know, you can get aftermarket paint to match it, but it's not really. It's very close, but it's not exactly dead on, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was able to do that, and then I got the side art off of eBay. And you know, the hardest thing to find is this marquee light. Mike's Arcade had it, and you know, luckily the starter was in there, but I had to replace everything, so luckily all the parts were on there, and I got the T-molding from Mike's Arcade, and then the side art I got off eBay. So that was all I had to do.
I think you had to fix one of the coin mechs, didn't you?
Oh yeah, and one of the coin mechs didn't work, but Mike's Arcade also had that. And inside the cabinet, the coin, like what catches the money, it's usually wooden. It was a bucket was what the guy had. I don't know what happened. Right. Somebody tore the thing out. So I bought the thing off eBay for like $50. They're kind of rare, but it doesn't have the housing, so he's got to line it up, which isn't a big issue. So I was happy to own that. So that's pretty much the Mario story. You know, this is the very first game to feature Luigi in it. And I don't like. I feel like Luigi's sometimes like not respected enough. In my like, my favorite game of all time is Luigi's Mansion. I don't know, something about Luigi. I always liked Luigi for some reason, and it's really cool to have his like debut. And that's why I wanted Donkey Kong 2. That was Mario's first game. So it's really cool to have like those icons first game. Mario, 119,000.
It's not good.
Not a good game, but not a bad game. A respectable game. But this was mainly just a story and a gameplay.
If we don't get to like the drip icicle levels, then we had a bad game.
Yeah. So this is actually the coin, you know, the coin mechanisms, and it catches the quarters in here. But as you can see, this is loose, so you just got to line it up before you close it. So here's the inside of my Donkey Kong. You see how it's got like a box to it, and it's got these slots to catch the quarters, because when this is closed, it catches the quarters for 1 and 2 players. So yeah, it's the same box, but it has this housing, which is nice, so it doesn't move around. I wish my Mario Bros had this, but sadly it doesn't. That's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're not a Brickie yet, consider subscribing right here by clicking on this icon to become a Brickie today. There's gonna be another video followed by a playlist. I post a lot of arcade 1-up and video game related content, so if that interests you, consider subscribing today. And remember, until next time, see you next time.